Hi everybody, my name is Stephanie. I am 37 years old and I have just had my coccyx removed. And I thought it would be worthwhile me telling you a little bit about myself prior to having that done, because I've found a lot of stories online, but nothing really that kind of helped prepare me for the journey that I had when going through the removal. So I thought it'd just be really useful for me to tell you a little bit about myself, what happened for me to end up at this point. So my pain started probably about 12 years ago when I fell down the stairs. And I was in pain for quite a while with that, but just was given this sort of normal painkillers and nothing really else came of it. And pretty much was in pain every single day after that. But you kind of get to a point where it's manageable pain. You just deal with it on a day-to-day basis, but it was really uncomfortable. And I went back to the doctors, but kind of always got the same answer every time. So I just kind of carried on and didn't really do much more about it. Tried to do some exercises to try and make it feel better. But every time when I stood up off the chair, it was absolutely agony. So like I said, I carried on. And then I found myself in 2017 pregnant, which was probably the most interesting part of my journey, because that was when the pain really started to become quite bad, really. So yeah, that was fun. So basically, halfway through my pregnancy, I was getting really, really bad pains. I was really struggling to stand and really struggling to walk. The doctor said that they would refer me to physio, which was great. I thought, brilliant. Anyway, the referral never came through. They'd forgotten to do it. So I actually didn't get any help for my pain for pregnancy until the third trimester, sort of towards the middle of that. And it was kind of just pointless by that point. I was on crutches and I was just thinking, there's no way I'm going to be able to give birth to this child, because I couldn't get into any sort of position that I was trying to get into when I was doing pregnancy yoga for me to be able to give birth. I was just in too much pain. So I had lots of toing and froing and lots of conversations between myself and the consultant, and then it was decided I was to have an elective cesarean, which there was no way it was elective. I just couldn't have done it, and I didn't want to risk myself having any more pain by doing things with an epidural that I wouldn't be able to normally do. So I really hated that they were calling it an elective, because there's no way I would elect a C-section. It was just the way things were. Anyway, I had it. I had the C-section and my daughter was born, and it was wonderful. But I was still in pain, and more pain, because obviously the pregnancy put pressure on me. I'd gained weight. My coccyx was just in absolute agony. Every time I stood up, I could barely do it. I was wincing. I was in my car a lot of the time, because my job is like an area manager, so it involved a lot of driving, and it was just getting worse and worse and worse. So finally, it was agreed, after going back again and starting the whole process, that I could have some of these ganglion implant blocks. So I had one of those, and actually it was amazing. For 8 months, I was pain-free. It was just brilliant. Then obviously the pain came back. Went through the whole process all over again. And they then agreed to give me another one. So I had another one, and again, another blissful 8 months, back again. You guessed it, the pain was then back again. So I went back through the process again, which we all know in the UK and the NHS, God love them, it just does take a while though. And I saw a consultant, and they basically told me that I'd only ever get 3 of these implant blocks. The only other option was to have my coccyx removed, which I was like, whoa, hang on a minute, that seems like a big step. So I didn't really want to go into anything really lightly. Having my coccyx removed with a 2.5-year-old probably wasn't something I really wanted to embark in. So I did quite a lot of research actually on it, and really couldn't find much on the internet about, how long it would take to recover. All I could see was that it would be a year, and I was thinking, how on earth am I going to manage a year with a toddler running around? It's just not possible. Now, I stumbled upon a Facebook support group, but that was only 2 days before my op. And so because I found such limited resources, I just vowed that if I was to ever do it, I would document my journey, just to kind of show people what the process was, and the healing time and the recovery time. And I guess that's kind of why we're here where we are today, because I am now 2 weeks post having my coccyx removed. And, I'm secretly really excited, because I think that this might have been the answer I've been searching for sort of 12 years. So the next couple of slides will just kind of show you what my results of my MRI were. So obviously if you want to have a longer read of them, then just hit on the pause button and you can read through what the results say. May be useful to some of you, it may not be. And then it just kind of documents my journey from that kind of point to where I am now, which is 2 weeks post-surgery. Just remember, everybody heals differently, so it may not be the same for anybody else. But if this can help somebody out there, then that's basically all I'm looking to do. Thanks for watching. Okay guys, I've just got to the Hampshire clinic and ready to have my pre-op before I have my coccyx bone removed on Wednesday next week. So I'm sure you all know I've all struggled with my back for quite some time, and they have now decided it is the right time to saw it off, just like that. The bone at the base of my spine apparently isn't required. So I'm going for it and I am going to get it chopped off. So I'm going to blog how I'm feeling about this, and I will keep you all updated because it's not a well-known op, I don't think, and there will be people out there that will absolutely be having this and not know what to expect. I am dreading the worst, but secretly hoping and trying to stay positive that it won't be as horrendous as I think it's going to be. I'll keep you in the loop. So D-Day's here. I am in the hospital. I am all checked in. Since I last posted, I've definitely unburied my head from the sand a little bit. I've realised that this is probably going to be a little bit more difficult than I thought. Absolutely dreading 3 to 4 weeks, not being able to sit down or walk properly. It's not going to be easy with Imogen around. I think that's going to be the hardest thing, trying to get her to understand why Mummy's not walking and why she can't climb all over her and jump on her. Still, I've got great support around me. James is brilliant, obviously, and my family are also really supportive, so I'm sure it's going to be absolutely fine. I'm first on the list, which means good stuff. Don't have to wait around, right? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell myself. But sooner till a bit more pain. Hey-ho, it'll all be good. I've got about 7,000 cushions waiting to try when I get home to try and make life a little bit easier. So it's going to be good. It'll be nice to think about a future without pain every day. I think that's the one thing that's kind of just spurring me on and getting me through it. Although then I've also tried to avoid reading the stories where they say they've done this and it's not worked. It's not going to happen to me, right? It's going to be fine. Just realised, guys, I probably should have used a filter today. Not looking my best, but I think I've obviously had other things on my mind. If I feel like posting after my surgery, I will definitely find a good filter because it's not going to be a good look. Definitely wouldn't want to put you through all of that. I will anyway, speak to you all soon.
Operation done. Came out about 11:30. It's now about 3:45. Just waiting for the consultant to come round and see what he has to say for himself. Just thrown up. It's really nice. I think that's probably more the general anaesthetic and just coming round from that. I'm feeling really quite groggy. I think the pain meds are obviously doing their job at the moment because whilst I am uncomfortable and I can feel it, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Or maybe I'm just brilliant at recovering from these things and this is the worst it's going to get. I'm just going to go with that. Yeah, it's all good at the moment-ish. I mean, it's not really, but it's fine. Yeah, so let's see how it all pans out. Morning, everybody. It's the next day, so the morning after surgery, and was told would just be a day case. Wasn't. I stayed in. Wasn't very good because my blood pressure was really low and I was really sick. So luckily I bought a bag and didn't believe them because my experience with general anaesthetics has been exactly the same before. With my back, I'm really surprised that it's not hurting a lot more than I expected. At the moment, this is no worse than a bad day, and I've not taken loads of painkillers. Last night's sleeping wasn't too bad. I was just on my side. I tend to sleep on my side anyway, so that's not so bad, but on my side and a little bit on my front. I've managed to get up 3 times to go to the toilet. The physio even came in yesterday and I did a couple of exercises. That was a bit more painful though. I pushed myself a little bit there, but yeah, it's been as as good as I could have expected it. Actually, probably a bit better than I expected it because I was expecting the worst. Sleeping in hospital is never easy though. Was woken up at about 6 a.m. by lots of loud staff. I mean, they've got to do their job, so it's fine. But yeah, so whilst I've slept, I've not slept because obviously they also have to do your obs and check your blood pressure and things in the middle of the night. But yeah, so from me at the moment, it's fairly positive. I know it's only the next day, and I'm sure I've got a long road ahead of me, but I'm taking the small win. I'm wondering how I'm going to get home later in the car, so I'll let you all know how that goes. Hey guys, so I am home. I got home probably about 10 o'clock this morning. Journey home was interesting actually. It wasn't too bad. So I clambered into the car. You can see a photo of how I was, but I was just sprawled out on the back seat with my large cushion protecting my back. And luckily, I've only got about a 10-minute drive from the hospital back home. The worst part for me is I get travel sick anyway if I'm not watching where I'm going, and I can't do things like look at my phone or read in the car because I'm just not very good. I get quite motion sickness, so lying down wasn't great, but like I said, it was only 10 minutes and my husband drove very respectfully. Yeah, I made it home and got back into the house and straight upstairs. Managed the stairs without too much trouble, like one step at a time. Counted every 13 of them, but actually it wasn't too bad. And I spent the afternoon in bed. I had a couple of hours sleep, which I needed after staying in the hospital, and feeling quite bright. I actually haven't had any painkillers for an hour. I've been due them for an hour, and I'm not feeling like I really need to rush to take them. Partly because I'm kind of trying to pan it out so that I can take some when I go to bed later on. I've now moved downstairs to the lounge with my trusted cushion and my dog at the foot of my feet because he's been longing to give me hugs and can't. Waiting for my daughter to return from nursery, so that's going to be interesting. So let's hope for a good evening as well. But actually, generally, really positive. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not in pain, but it's certainly manageable. I had a C-section about 3 years ago, and I can tell you the pain with that was so horrendous. So I'm actually taking this as an absolute win. So I'm pleased to be able to sort of share some positives. But again, like I said earlier, I know it's sort of early days, but let's see how we get on. And I'll probably blog again in a day or two with any updates. Hey guys, me again. Day 3 post-surgery, and it's been a day of firsts for me. First bowel movement, a bit gross. First shower. So I'm still alive after both of them, which is good. Shower was a lot easier. So my husband just kind of sat in the bedroom, made sure I was okay, got the hairdryer ready to dry me at the end, and dry my legs as well, and things like that. So the shower itself wasn't too bad. My husband helped wash the lower half of my body because obviously bending's a little bit tricky, but the rest of it kind of went without a hitch, no problems really. I have a waterproof dressing on, so it was fine to go in the shower with. Came out and sort of dried the top half for me, and then my husband dried the lower half with the hairdryer. And then I stood for a while and actually dried my hair, and actually standing was quite comfortable. It was a bit of a relief from just kind of lying down on my hips. So yeah, not too bad. Bowel movement less fun, and I had taken some sort of laxatives to try and help with that. I've got a raised toilet seat, which has actually been really, really helpful, and I've really appreciated having that. So it wasn't so bad actually. The hardest part was the cleaning up and making sure that everything was okay, so to avoid infection. But I'm not going to go into too much of the graphics of that, but it wasn't easy. But it's done, and it's only going to get easier from now onwards. We're still going to kind of take the laxatives and stuff to try and help with that, but I'd say that's probably been the hardest thing so far. In terms of my pain, slept through the night, just shifted a few times in the night that I was aware of, but didn't have to wake up to take any painkillers, which is a bonus. And this morning I've taken some paracetamol. I'm going to have something to eat in a minute, and I'm going to take some ibuprofen as well. But generally, I feel bruised. I do feel bruised, but it's really still kind of on that path of I've really expected a hell of a lot worse. Yeah, really kind of going with that. Hoping to make a recovery soon. But, you know, we'll just see what happens. Not really a great deal else to report, really. Yeah, that's all. I'll keep you updated. Hey guys, so it's day 8 post Coccyx surgery. I'm feeling really good this morning. So far I've not really had any pain at all in my coccyx. I'm touching wood because I don't want that to jinx anything, I think is probably the word I'm looking for. But yeah, feeling really, really positive, really good. I've got up, I've moved around a lot. I've removed the raised toilet seat, see how I got on with that today. But yeah, just really feeling good. Didn't take any pain relief yesterday at all. Haven't taken any so far today. So I'm really positive that this is the start of a really good recovery. But yeah, so again, I'll keep you posted, but so far I'm really happy.
Hey everybody, I am currently 2 weeks post-surgery and I am pleased to report that I'm actually feeling really good. So I'm not really in any pain at all, slight pain every now and again when maybe I've done a little bit too much, but I've been on a couple of walks, I've got out the house, I've got some fresh air, which was a welcome relief after being stuck indoors, although we're obviously in lockdown, so we are stuck, but got some fresh air, which was really, really lush, and I absolutely needed that, so that was great. I have not taken any pain relief in the last week, just not needed to. I mean, I guess I've lived for 12 years with like pain every single day, and I kind of lived with that. So the pain that I'm actually experiencing now is not worse than that. It's easier than that. And it's a different kind of pain. So this is definitely like a bruised pain. And I don't feel any pain when I'm standing up. So that just feels so good. So they don't recommend you try sitting for 2 weeks. So I hadn't tried that until today. And today I sat down. I probably sat down for about 5 minutes and then it started to feel a little bit uncomfortable. But my God, it was just... I wasn't expecting to be able to do that after watching some people's and reading some people's reports for so long. So I'm really, really happy with that. And like everybody's recovery is so different. And I know you shouldn't read everybody else's, blogs and things, but I was just convinced it would be months. I guess I've been like really blessed that I haven't had any infections or anything like that. My consultant did dissolvable stitches and then put like a glue covering over the top. And then I had a waterproof dressing on, and I took the waterproof dressing off maybe 5 days after I came back, and obviously no infections. And I'm hoping I'm kind of past that point now because it's been 2 weeks. So I'm really hoping, but obviously not taking anything for granted and still being super cautious, that I'm making sure I'm sort of clean and tidy and things. So happy with that, definitely. I couldn't really ask for a better healing process. I kind of put it down to just like a number of things really, and my husband's been super supportive, so I've not really had to do a great deal, as much as that kills me because I just like to crack on with things. Like I hate to see him doing everything when I'm capable, but obviously I wasn't entirely capable. I also am a fan of intermittent fasting, so I do that quite a lot, and that's all about internal healing. So I think maybe that has had something to do with it, who knows? But generally just been taking really good care of myself and making sure I haven't kind of done anything that I shouldn't do. I go back to work on Monday, which is going to be interesting because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to sit down at my computer desk all the day. However, what I have done is altered my raised toilet seat so it's the same height as my desk. So obviously I've disinfected it as well, but it means that and I can maybe sit at the table a little bit longer because I'll have the hole cut out of it. So we'll see how that goes. Work have been super supportive as well, which has always been really helpful with the recovery, especially in like COVID times. I feel like everybody's nervous about jobs and things, understandably so. So it wasn't probably the best time for me to take off, but at the same time it probably was because nothing else in the world is happening. So I'm really happy and I'm feeling really positive, and I really kind of just hope that this gives people a little bit of hope that the recovery road and the process can be good. It can be. If you have any questions that you want to ask, then by all means do just kind of comment underneath, and I'll get back to you for sure. But a few things that I found really helpful in my recovery: raised toilet seats, like my best friend. Definitely recommend you getting one of those. I also got a massive pregnancy cushion, which I've been sleeping on to help with my hips from one side to the other. I've got a memory foam mattress, so I didn't buy a memory foam topper, which I know a lot of people have really found helpful. But the cushion has also really helped me. The other thing that I found was like a bottle with a straw at the top that wasn't going to spill, so that when I was like lying in bed, I didn't have to try and drink through a cup or anything like that. I could just suck through the straw and just get everything I needed, rather than having to just move about 30 times and be really careful with what I drank. But otherwise I just stocked up on paracetamol and ibuprofen, and not that I took that much of them, but it was really good to have those in stock just in case I felt like I needed them. But that's it really, guys. Not really that much else to report. I will add to the journey every kind of time I do a milestone. So when I start to sit for a really long time, I'll update, because obviously it's still going to be a bit of a road to recovery. You know, it's only been 2 weeks. So a lot of people say 3 months until they're absolutely pain-free. So let me see. I'll update you guys on, you know, any particular milestones that happen that I think might be really useful to you. But otherwise, if you are about to embark on this, I really hope it works out well and it changes your life, because I think it might mine.